So why this?
Well, I love hornets and bees and wasps and stuff, and I wanted to do something different from my normal style. And so Asher came up with this little cute guy. Oh gosh. It's a lot of fun spot.
Kind of the point sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's that meme going around that, shows what tattoos were like back, in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And tattoos now were like, people would get their entire bodies covered, but they wouldn't show anything that people could see. And then now, if people get tattoos only where people can see and not where people can't
True.
see.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay, I guess then we'll start from the top, I guess, which is who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name's Annastasia. I own a all-female renovation company called Fix It Females. And we work all over the GTA. We do all kinds of renos, from full home builds to like small renovation stuff, repairs and drywall, things like that. Bathrooms, kitchens, basements.
That's awesome. So what made you want to do that?
When I was in high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And when I kind of had this epiphany where I was like, oh my God, I should open a painting company. So I started painting, and then my mom and I collaborated and we did like flooring and paint. And then I did that for a little while, and then I thought, I want more, because that's my kind of personality. And I was like, okay, how can I make more money? What can I introduce now to the painting? So I started doing drywall and mudding. That's kind of what I did for a little while. And then I started tiling, and that was like my A++ trade. I was really like exceptionally good tiler. So I started working for another contractor, and I guess my career just kind of flourished from there. Like, he was kind of pushing me like, oh, you should do your own thing. Like you're really good at painting and stuff. And then I started my own company at that point. I said, forget it. I'm going to turn this into something that's female owned and operated, where other females in the industry or people that want to break into that industry can feel comfortable working, right? Because a lot of times we get judged off of being a woman in the trades. Like now is different, but this is, I'm almost 40 now. I'm talking when I was like 17, 18 years old.
Yep. And
trying to break into that industry, it was very hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess you can say I did it to create more of a safe space for, at the time, women to break into the industry and not feel so completely judged by an all-male crew.
Yeah. And I guess, one of the other kind of pleasant side effects of that too was that you ended up getting folks who wanted a group of women that they could kind of hire and trust without feeling that they were going to be taken for a run by, your standard, contractor.
Especially when their kids are around, or if there's, single females in a home, or if their kid is home from school, like with people, they actually feel a lot more comfortable welcoming us there rather than a group of men, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things, I guess you can kind of see that like less intimidating kind of factor of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time. Did you kind of see any kickback from areas of the industry when you did start?
What do you mean kickback?
Like, were there any folks who tried to make waves for you? Like,
oh God,
tried to cause problems?
I mean, where do I start? It was brutal. It was brutal, coming into this industry as a female. Like, I wished there was a place like mine when I was 18 years old, trying to break into the field. We just get like walking into Home Depot, you get totally stared at, and some men would make like wildly inappropriate comments. I'll never forget this one thing that happened to me. I was probably like 20, and I was in Home Depot, and I was at the cash register, and I was getting I was framing think I was framing a basement. So I had like a ton of lumber on this cart. Yeah. And I'm paying I'm in line, and the guy behind me goes, what do you do? And I said, oh, I do renovations. And he's like, do you fix dicks? And I was like, no, sorry, we don't work on jobs that small. And it was packed in there.
Oh.
Like, and
served in paper.
Oh my God, the cashier laughed, the people behind us laughed, like it was, and that's the majority of the things we'd hear. We'd hear these inappropriate comments. We'd hear guys saying that we couldn't do it. Because don't forget, like Instagram, Facebook, like that stuff wasn't around when we first started. So all that internet and cyberbullying type of thing was never really a thing for us. It was all in person, you know? We'd be like driving the truck down the street and a guy would just give us the finger for no reason.
The good old days, right? Where the bullying happened on the streets and didn't follow you into your living room.
Exactly. You get bullied in the day and you'd go home and you'd be able to get away from it, but not today. Today it follows you everywhere. But for the most part, people are very supportive.
It's you didn't find any did you find any heavy pushback even from other companies in the sense of they try and steal business, push business away or anything like that? Was it just kind of your work kind of stood for itself and you didn't really have to worry about folks like that ever?
There's been times where I've hired people and they've gone behind my back, and I had this one couple working for me. This is probably maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And I did a bathroom for this client with this couple that worked for me. Then about a year later, I get a call and she goes, oh, hi, Annastasia. The bathroom one of the bathrooms you did is leaking. And she said, the second one. And I said, what do you mean? We never did a second bathroom for you.
Oh my, okay.
And I found out, so the plumber I was working with at the time took videos and pictures of this couple wearing my shirts in their own vehicle.
Whoa.
And they went behind my back, told the lady that she was still affiliated with Fix It Females, that they were affiliated with Fix It Females. And they did this bathroom renovation for her. And when they were nowhere to be found, she called me. And I said, I never did that. Where's your invoice? Do you have any proof? And she said, no, it was the couple that worked for you that I hired. And I said, well, you must have gone to them directly because we don't have any record of that.
Now, did that couple basically hoof it as soon as they got the contract? They took the money and ran kind of spiel?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
They did the work for them.
But they didn't come into your place the day after thinking everything was cool.
No way. They were they had told me that they were kind of doing their own thing or whatever. What I didn't think they were doing was hijacking Fix It Females and saying they were still a part of the company, right?
Yeah, especially I think that's kind of, as you said, starting a business like that is always going to be a bit of a hurdle and learning curve for a lot of folks out there.
Of course.
If you had folks, if someone was trying to do it, do you have any kind of words of wisdom for folks who might be out there trying to get themselves into a field like yours, or even just starting their own kind of jam?
Yeah, I think if you're trying to break into the renovation or construction market, I think learning from somebody else is the best way to go. School is great and it's good to have that theory behind things, but they teach you in a classroom that's built perfectly square. And when you get out in the real world and you're dealing with kitchens that one side is 12 feet and the other side is 9.5, nothing that's pre-built is gonna fit into that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing for learning. If you wanna learn how to build houses, go and work for a home builder for a little while.
Yeah.
Gain the knowledge that you need and the know-how to be on site and learning those things they can't teach you in a classroom.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to it. It's one of those things I think especially when it comes to the school kind of conversation and learning from people in conversations, they're both very similar in their own ways, but they're both also very built for a particular kind of person.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of us who are more hands-on, and you know, the tattoo industry is very similar in that kind of respects too. It's way better for you to learn from a person than it would be for you to learn on the internet or, you know, all by yourself, because you don't want to make bad habits, basically.
Exactly, because they are harder to break. Things are harder to unlearn, right, than they are to learn.
So other than the wonderfulness that is coming to get tattoos, what other hobbies do you think you have then, if that's the case?
Oh, I play guitar, and I...
Whoa, cool, really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I make beats and write music and stuff, so that kind of takes my mind off of things. I'm pretty active. I like to work out and stuff too. And I love to snowboard in the winter. That really takes me away from the bullshit of being here in Toronto.
Snowboarding still hits me as like such a cool bloody thing.
It's so cool. And it's like when you're out there on the slopes, like, you literally do not think about anything else. You know, it's just like you and your board.
I mean, I feel like I believe that, because if you're spending too much time thinking about other things, you might end up like wrapped around a tree or something.
Yeah.
So it's probably best that you focus entirely on
one wrong move
on just worry about, you know, skiing / snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like don't die.
No, definitely not.
Remember that one of like a guy who was filming himself and he thought it was super cool, and he was outrunning a bear and didn't even know. That was amazing.
I saw that.
Remember that guy?
I've seen that exact video. That's crazy.
Outran a bear by accident.
By accident. Yeah, because he's filming himself, and behind him you can see the bear running.
Yeah, guy almost died, and he has no idea that he nearly bit it. In like one of the worst ways. There's got to be no other way worse than like getting eaten. I feel like out of all of the ways that you could go, being eaten alive is probably nope.
You know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna get on my snowboard and get eaten by a bear.
By a bear.
Not something you think of especially when you're snowboarding. But I guess in certain parts of the world, that's definitely a possibility.
Like Russia, probably.
Oh yeah.
What about your social media stuff? Like, you know, what are you trying to do with it? Like, has it been a challenge? Has it been easier? Like, what do you try to do when you try to promote via your online presence?
So our TikTok is more comedy based. Okay, so if you want to laugh, check us out on TikTok. Instagram, we try and focus a little bit more on...
Give us a plug. What is it? Fix It Females?
Fix It Females. That's it.
Just Fix It Females, TikTok.
Yep. And the Instagram is at Fix It Females. And it's more like like our work. Like, I like to focus more on the work aspect on Instagram, and then our funny stuff goes on TikTok. But yeah, I think we're like pretty up there now. We're like 87,000.
That's stellar.
Followers on TikTok, and 26,000, I think, on Instagram. Oh, it's nice. Oh, that's so nice.
All right.
It's just literally the best part.